Hello and welcome to the Daily Breaking News YouTube channel. With the counterattack of Ukrainian military forces, Russia's nightmare in Eastern Europe continues. The Russian army, whose casualties have been steadily increasing, is paying the price for its strategic missteps in the region, but these costs do not appear to be restricted to Ukraine. Putin was faced with a dilemma only after Russia's invasion of Ukraine and rising unease in the Baltic nations. He never wanted Finland, with whom Russia shares a kilometer-long border, or Sweden, Russia's Baltic Sea neighbor, to formally declare NATO membership. As a result, the NATO fleet started to safeguard the Baltic Sea. Naval maneuvers in the Baltic Sea have recently dominated the conversation, and Russia has been debating how to respond to these movements. The Russians' equilibrium has been drastically disturbed by today's air operations in the Baltic Sea. NATO put on a show of strength in the drills, which included British Royal Air Force fighters. Despite the fact that the superb exercises in the regions near Russian territorial seas, borders, and sky boundaries irritated Russia, Russia did not respond to the NATO force that took place in the Baltic Sea. If such a situation had arisen in recent months and the NATO fleet and air force had displayed full throttle 50-100 kilometers from Russia's borders, Russia would undoubtedly have replied, but Ukraine appears to have tied Russia's hands. We could not have predicted that Russia would remain indifferent to NATO planes' 7-hour missions over the Baltic. Furthermore, UK Royal Air Force RC-135 observation planes are regularly watching Russian forces in the Baltics and patrolling, notably near Russia's Kaliningrad area. Over the Baltic Sea, U.S. Navy destroyers, British F-35s, and Eurofighter Typhoons formed an active shield to defend U.S. Navy destroyers. As part of Vigilance Activity Neptune Shield 22, they conducted an aviation naval drill to guard a U.S. military destroyer over the Baltic Sea. The simulation exercise was designed to ensure that the ship was defended by an effective, integrated air and missile defense system. Improving the ship's maneuverability is viewed as a vital step in the growth of NATO's operations in the Baltic Sea. According to a statement issued by the British Royal Air Force, RAF fighters were engaged in air defense combat with their adversaries simulating attacks on the ship. RAFs from RAF and Lozimuth, as well as F-35B Lightning fighters from RAF Moram, took part in the drill over the Baltic Sea. We'll get into the specifics of these special fighters momentarily, but the employment of such superior aircraft in the region is one of the clearest indications of NATO's commitment to the region. The RAF aircraft were joined by Czech Air Force and GIF fighters when the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS arrived at the drill site. Thankfully, the RAF Typhoons were transferred to the USS immediately after completing a 7-hour mission to offer adequate air and missile defense to safeguard the ship. According to the newspaper, the exercise featured various multi-site drills involving air, ground, and naval forces from Europe, the Baltic, and the Mediterranean, according to a separate statement from the Allied Air Command Public Relations Office. Along with air-naval training, this operation allowed for the enhancement of alliance capacity in a crucial sector. These operations enable NATO troops to communicate and collaborate in a complicated scenario, enhancing our capacity to give a unified response to any threat, according to Brigadier General Christopher Ply, Deputy Chief of Staff of the Allied Air Force Command. General Ply elaborated, "Every time we cooperate with our partners at sea and on land, we become a more unified and ready force." The fact that this drill coincided with Finland and Sweden's NATO applications prompted Russia to increase its presence in the region. However, it is unclear how long this vigilance will be relevant because Russia, which has been severely harmed in Ukraine, may be unable to drag itself into such a battle. The United Kingdom, on the other hand, has added a new one to its actions in the region, following Russian forces over the Baltic Sea with the British RC-135 electronic surveillance aircraft. The jets on these missions often patrol the Russian border with NATO countries, as well as the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad. This is not, in reality, a novel phenomenon. Before the invasion of Ukraine, the United Kingdom had been undertaking similar trips to acquire intelligence from the region for a long time. However, it has been seen that reports of these flights have grown in recent days, as has people's interest in these stories. It's not uncommon for British surveillance planes to be in the region, but we've seen a big increase in flying frequency in recent months for obvious reasons. Simultaneously, it is clear that the United States is engaged in similar actions in the region. Let's take a closer look at the RAF Typhoon utilized in Baltic Sea training. The Typhoon FGR-4 fighter jet flew for the first time in 2003 and was delivered in 2004. In RAF service, the Typhoon superseded the Tornado, F-3, and Jaguar. The Typhoon front line was supposed to be made up of 7 squadrons, 4 of which would be primarily responsible for air defense. 2 swing roles and 1 offensive role cover all combat air activities. The Typhoon is a stealth-capable single-seat aircraft designed for air superiority, air defense, and ground assault duties. The United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, and Spain are the project's partners. It is Europe's most expensive cooperation effort to date. Initially, these 4 nations' air forces ordered a total of 571 Typhoons. England wanted 160 of these. Germany received 143, Italy received 96, and Spain received 73. The Typhoon is a 5th-generation fighter aircraft that has completely digital, integrated aircraft, avionics, and weapon systems. The Typhoon is intended to fly at least 5 missions. These are air supremacy in airborne, enemy suppression, air defense, close air support, and naval assaults. The plane can carry 6 medium-range and 2 short-range air-to-air missiles. The aeroplane includes 13 storage compartments and an internal cannon on the starboard side. The new Storm Shadow can carry a variety of air-to-surface weaponry, such as the Brimstone anti-armor weapon and the future precision-guided grenade. The onboard captor radar is a standard European design. The infrared search and tracking system and defense aid are 2 more sensors. 2 wing pods that are essential elements of the wing carry subsystem equipment. The multi-view data system provides the data link. The most current estimated cost of the RAF Typhoon program was roughly €17.6 billion, making it the most costly weapon system ever constructed for the UK Armed Services, implying that each jet cost the UK £110 million. It is also said that flying a Typhoon for an hour costs around €4,000. Since it was thought that the performance of such an expensive plane would be high, there has been a lot of talk about its superior capabilities and performance. He added that after flying aboard a United States Air Force General Typhoon in 2006, he realized these were the quickest jets. According to reports, the British Navy and Air Force are highly pleased with this fighter jet, and it has far greater potential when supplied with upgradable technology. However, it is being attempted to determine which aircraft will replace it when the life of this aircraft expires at the end of 2030. Should today's most popular technology, unmanned aerial vehicles, or a new human warplane, replace a superior capability warplane? If a new manned warplane is on the way, wouldn't it make sense to modernize these expensive war machines? We will leave the comments up to you. You are welcome to share your thoughts with us and other important listeners.